All right, we're at section 27.4 RC circuits, and I'm going to run this simulation. Um, let's uh, let's reset, and I've got the simulation going pretty slowly right now. Every time I hit reset, you can see that uh, the over here in the lower corner, it disappears when I move the cursor, but you can see that the current is, let me hit the reset again. The current starts out about 50 milliamps. Well, we have a 5-volt battery connected with a 200 microfarad capacitor and a 100 ohm resistor. So the 5 volts divided by 100 ohms, it's going to start off at 50 milliamps. And let me hit reset again. You can see it's 49.9 and it's going down. Why is it going down? Well, the capacitor is charging up, and as it charges up, it slows down the current. Notice why isn't it uh, displaying the? Let's speed up the simulation. There it is. Let me hit the reset again. You can see that it the current takes off really quickly and then diminishes to zero, and the uh, voltage uh, starts off at zero and gets greater. Let's reset it, and you can see that what was the green line is the voltage, and the current is the yellow line. Now let's discharge this capacitor. You can see that the current, um, there the current goes and it slows down. Here the current goes and stops because it discharges the capacitor. So that's a little kind of a visual of what's going on. Let's switch the share to the um, PowerPoint. And so we've got a very similar circuit, the A and B. When the switch is thrown into position A, the capacitor begins to charge up. And if you wait long enough, several time constants, the current will stop flowing. And if current is not flowing, then I times R is equal to zero. If I is zero, then IR is equal to zero. And all you have is the voltage, the EMF voltage, and the capacitor voltage, and they're both equal. This is, if you follow Kirchhoff's rules, this will be a plus. Let's say it's 5 volts plus 5 volts. This will be a minus 5 volts. And so the loop rule, they add up to zero. When the switch is thrown to position B, the capacitor discharges. So the battery's out of loop and it just flows in this direction. Okay, let me dismiss this so that it doesn't interfere with the PowerPoint. So when the switch is thrown to position A, the capacitor begins to charge up, and as it's charging up, well, if we follow the Kirchhoff rules, we have the battery voltage minus, you remember, plus, minus, minus. The current is going in this direction, minus. So you have the battery voltage, the charge divided by the capacitor. That's as charge builds up, this will be equal to this, and then you have the current times the resistor. All of that has to equal zero according to Kirchhoff's loop rule. So at T equals zero, the current is maximum. The voltage divided by resistance. The maximum charge is the capacitor times the voltage. And dq dt is equal to the battery divided by the resistor minus the charge divided by RC. And we go through a few steps. The dq dt, you divide both sides by dt, and both sides by q minus ce, you get this equation. And from that, if you integrate it, you'll get the natural logarithm of Q minus C times the voltage divided by minus C times the voltage is equal to minus T over RC, which gives you, by the definition of the natural log, Q of T is equal to the capacitance times the voltage times 1 minus E to the minus T divided by RC. And the maximum charge, C times the voltage is Q max, the maximum charge. So QT is equal to Q max times 1 minus E to the minus T over RC, where RC is the time constant, tau. So the current is equal to the voltage divided by the resistance, E to the minus T divided by RC. And we'll see these, you can see how at 1 tau, one time constant, the charge has reached 63%, 0.632 times the Q max. At 2T, it's 0.865. At 3T, it's 0.95. And after many, many time constants, it reaches the maximum charge. The current, however, starts off at a maximum, and after 1 tau is 36.8 of the current. After 2 tau, it's 0.135, and so on. And tau is equal to the resistance times the capacitance. So after 1 tau, basically that's 1 over E times I, that's 0.368 times I. After 2 tau, it's 0.135, and the charge, let's see, I've got that highlighted. Let me make sure I'm reading the right. The charge increases from 0 to 0.632 CE, the maximum charge in 1 tau. And the energy supplied by the battery during this time interval, during the time required to fully charge the capacitor, is Q max times the voltage, was equal to the capacitance times the voltage squared. Now, that's the energy supplied by the battery. The energy stored in the capacitor is 1/2 Q max times the voltage, which is equal to 1/2 times the capacitor times the voltage squared. Now, if this is what's supplied by the battery, but this is what's charged in the capacitor, the rest of it is dissipated as internal energy in the resistor. Okay, now discharging a capacitor, if you follow the loop, all you have is you have the minus Q over C and the IR, the current times the resistance, and they go through a similar derivation to get to the final QT is the charge is equal to, when you discharge it, is Q E to the minus T divided by RC. And the current is equal to minus Q divided by RC E to the minus T over RC. Okay, let's consider the circuit in this figure and assume the battery has no internal resistance. Just after the switch is closed, we close the switch. So this capacitor at T equals 0 looks like a short circuit. Just after the switch is closed, what is the current in the battery? Well, basically we get at just after it's closed, we can ignore this, and it's like having R two resistors of value R in parallel. Well, if you use the old R1, R2 divided by R1 plus R2, you'll get that it's you'll get R squared divided by 2R, which gives you R over 2. So the E divided by R over 2 is the same as 2 E to the E divided by R. And that's what we get here, 2e to the R. Now, after a very long time, what is the current in the battery? Well, after a very long time, many time constants, this becomes an open circuit. So this is no longer in the circuit. It's just E divided by R, and that's the answer, because no more current is flowing in this branch over on this side. And that's it for this section. And we'll do this an experiment on the time constant. We'll use real components for that one. I haven't cared for any of the simulations, even though I started with a simulation. I don't particularly care for it for actually making measurements. Okay.